Today, we're diving into something pretty amazing, the invisible safety mechanisms that are built right into your muscles. These are the systems that are silently protecting you from injury every single day. And the best part? You don't even have to think about them. I mean, really, have you ever stopped to think about that? You're lifting a heavy box, your muscles are straining like crazy. So, what stops you from just snapping a tendon? Well, it's not just about raw strength. It's about a brilliant, hidden neurological failsafe. You see, your body is wired with these incredible automatic reflex circuits. They work so fast, operating at the level of the spinal cord, way faster than you could ever consciously react. They are there for one reason: to keep you from getting seriously hurt. So let's break down the two most important ones. To get our heads around how these circuits work, let's start with something you've probably experienced, at the doctor's office. Remember that little rubber hammer they use to tap your knee and your leg just kicks out on its own? Yeah, that's not just a party trick. It's a perfect, real-world example of your body's first line of defense. This is what's known as the myotatic reflex, or a bit more simply, the stretch reflex. You can think of it as your muscle's own personal security guard. It's always on duty, watching out for any muscle being stretched too far or way too fast. The hero of this whole operation is something called the muscle spindle. It's this tiny little sensory receptor that's actually embedded right inside your muscle fibers. Its entire job is to monitor one thing: muscle length. If that muscle suddenly gets longer, bam, the spindle sounds the alarm. And here's why it's so fast. It's brilliantly simple. So the doctor taps your knee, right? That stretches your quad muscle. Instantly, the muscle spindle inside fires a signal that goes directly to a motor neuron in your spinal cord. There's no middleman, no delay. It's a direct connection that immediately tells the quad, contract, now. And that's what causes your leg to kick. It's a protective spasm designed to fight back against that sudden stretch and prevent a tear. Okay, so that makes sense. The stretch reflex protects you from, well, overstretching. But what happens when the problem isn't the stretch, but the tension? What happens when you're lifting something so heavy that the sheer force of your own muscle contraction threatens to rip it right off the bone? The stretch reflex actually can't help here. In fact, you would make things worse by contracting even harder. And this is where our real star of the show comes in. The Golgi tendon organ, or you can just call it the GTO. Think of this as your body's dedicated tension sensor. It's the failsafe that's specifically designed to handle way, way too much force. So unlike the muscle spindle, which is in the belly of the muscle, the GTO is located in the tendon, that super tough connective tissue that hooks your muscle to your bone. And that is the perfect place to measure force. It's kind of like a built-in strain gauge, constantly monitoring just how much tension is running through that connection. Now, this is where it gets really cool how the GTO actually works. When tension gets dangerously high, the GTO fires off a signal. But here's the twist. Instead of directly exciting the muscle, its signal goes to this little middleman in the spinal cord, an inhibitory interneuron. And this neuron's job is basically to hit the emergency brake. It slams the brakes on the motor neuron, telling it to just quiet down. The signal to the muscle gets cut off, and the muscle is forced to relax. It's a biological circuit breaker that trips before you have a catastrophic failure. So what we have are these two incredible protectors working in the background all the time. Let's put them side by side so we can really see their different but totally complementary jobs. This table just lays it all out perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the muscle spindle. It detects stretch, and its response is to cause a contraction. On the other side, you have the Golgi tendon organ. It detects tension or force, and its response is to cause relaxation. So they have completely opposite effects, but they share the exact same goal: keeping your muscles and tendons safe and in one piece. So look, this isn't just some abstract neuroscience lesson. Understanding these reflexes is a really big deal because they are working in absolutely everything you do, from just standing up to lifting the heaviest weight you can possibly manage. Seriously, without the Golgi tendon organ, weightlifting would be impossibly dangerous. Even just picking up a heavy bag of groceries could end in a serious tear. But it's not just about stopping those huge injuries. The GTO is also constantly working to fine-tune your movements, adjusting the force just right so you can, say, pick up an egg without crushing it. It lets you safely push your limits to build strength, and it's making thousands of tiny adjustments all day long just to maintain your posture. It really is just incredible. As you're sitting here right now, your nervous system is performing this constant, silent symphony of calculations just to keep you upright, stable, and safe. The GTO and the muscle spindle are just two of these hidden bodyguards. And it kind of makes you wonder, right? What else is your body doing for you right this second, completely without you even knowing it?